Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 32 of the Showbound podcast presented by Axel Watches. I'm your host, Michael Raskin, here alongside Ethan Cardwell. Cards, what's going on with you, man? We had a big week, actually.
Yeah, no, we had a lot of stuff going on. I mean, just let's update everyone on the golf match because I'm sure everyone's dying to hear. So we played pretty good, honestly. Rask, he had some good holes, he had some bad holes.
How
Great
about me?
business.
I came out flying, though. Like, first two holes, you guys were like, you're nasty at golf.
Well, I don't know if I'd say I said you were nasty, but you hit two
You
good
guys were
shots.
both saying it. Uh, I can't remember.
You hit some good shots in the first two holes. You can't putt to save your life, which is a problem. Um,
I've never
but
put on good greens before.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and we did what we needed to do in the business side of things too. So there is a code that we might want to start pumping, right, Ras? Can you tell them?
Yeah, let's announce it. So we are now partnering up with Flight Golf, golfflight.com. Flight is FLYTE, by the way. So golfflight.com. And you can use the Showbound promo code at checkout. You get 15% off. And like Flight's pretty sick. We believe in their brand because their whole thing is like they want to make golf cheap and accessible for everyone. Like guys like me who aren't nasty on like cards, who like I don't want to spend $110 on a shirt. So you spend 30 and now you can get 15% off on that. So anyway, Showbound promo code golfflight.com. It went well.
Definitely go check it out. The gear is unreal. Like they have balls, they have gloves, hats, whatever you need, cheap, affordable. If you're
Oh,
getting into golf, buy it.
we have to mention too, now that this sponsorship deal is in place, like we're getting these golf videos with Perfetti and Byfield going.
Oh yeah. Well, I got to talk to Q, but Fets is in. We are making golf videos of our own with Flight Golf as a partner. We're super excited. Hopefully we can get it going in the next few weeks here. So stay tuned for that. That's definitely going to be a big thing.
We finally got
Um,
some good non-podcast content coming. Like this is gonna be sick. I'm fired up for it.
Dude, we're going to be looking nasty too. Flight's going to deck us out. I'm going to have my Axel watch on, little Manscaped cologne, maybe shave the chest hair, shave the face. So just be looking like a rock star out there. So
Oh yeah.
just a good look for the camera. But let's talk some hockey, Rask.
Okay. So I mean, we're really good at predicting series. And I think I was quoted as saying Winnipeg sweeps Montreal. And what happened, guys?
I think they did, right? Oh
Yeah, I
no,
think
no, no,
oh
no.
no.
You're right. No, Montreal swept Winnipeg. Sorry.
Yeah, that one. So we got all three series wrong in the North Division. Which makes me think that Montreal is going to play the winner of Colorado and Vegas, and I have to say, I'm saying on the podcast Montreal is going to win, which
Just
means
so
we
just
know
that
what
we
that means. Yeah,
Okay, we're not gonna reference it, but honestly, Colorado, Vegas, great series. It looked like Colorado was just gonna take this series and run with it. Vegas is clawing back. Big game tonight, I think. Right?
yeah. Tonight, it's
Yeah.
basically like the Cup final, man. Like these are in my opinion, the best two teams right now. Like it's sick to watch.
Hands down. And I think a lot of people thought the Bruins were going to take the Isles pretty easily, but the Isles are putting up a sick fight, up 3-2 now. And
Yeah,
that's going to be a huge tilt in Long Island, game six. Um, I don't know. I don't even want to make picks anymore, man. We're a joke.
we're getting ripped too. I get so many texts and
Yeah.
DMs like you guys are horrible at this.
Yeah, so I'm saying we're done making picks. All I'm gonna say is we both had Colorado to win the cup. That's the only pick that matters. So
Yeah,
anybody who's chirping us, if Colorado wins, they can
yeah.
just shut it because
We should maybe start we shouldn't be doing the same picks. Maybe you say one and I say the other, so at least we get it. One of us gets it right,
exactly one of us will look like a hero, I guess. At that
Um, yeah. Anyway, wow. I wanna mention our guest that we have. Just the best guy. Like he's a known good guy, Max Jones. You'll find out why later on in the episode. But Max Jones, Anaheim Ducks, um, awesome dude, and it was a great interview with him. Like honestly, one of our better ones for sure. Like I'd put him up there with the best among the best interviews we've had. It was really entertaining. You got to hear a lot about his time in London, and obviously now it was his first year as like a solidified NHL player, but he's been in the league for 3 years. So it was cool hearing about his road, and I'm excited to get that one over to you guys. But before we do, I just want to mention that Father's Day is just around the corner, and you probably need a gift for a hairy dad. Make your dad proud this year and get him and yourself the Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, the Lawnmower 4.0. And you can get 20% off and free shipping with the code SHOWBOUND at manscaped.com. And like Cardsy and I said, we're going to be rocking the Manscaped when we go out for these golf videos. They've sent us all the products. We've used all of them now. And the Lawnmower 4.0, like we talked about, that's sick. I finally used it. It's incredible.
I want to stop you too, because remember when I was talking about our new little kit that we got and I said I was going to give it a rating this week after using it. It's an 11 out of 10. Like it hands down. It's just legit. They keep outdoing themselves, and I don't know where they can go from here. There's not much better it can get. So if you want to be at the top of your game and looking sharp, Manscaped has all the tools to do that. Even nose trimmers, like they're keeping our bush and our nose clean.
I've been using the nose trimmer too. I know I don't have like long nose hairs, but you might as well keep them as short as possible.
Yeah, it's classy.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna try that kit, the Ultra Smooth package, after the show, and I'll let you know how it goes. But anyway, Manscaped is the only men's brand dedicated to below the waist grooming, and they just launched their Lawnmower 4.0. Imagine surprising your dad with a sleek, well-designed, and optimized body hair trimmer that says your balls will thank you on the box. Their 4th-generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. You might ask, how is this Lawnmower 4.0 different from other trimmers? Well, this upgraded trimmer includes a multi-function on-off switch that can engage a travel lock. This is a great feature if your father or yourself do a lot of traveling, especially if you're an NHL player like Max Jones or something. You're always on the road and do a lot of traveling. You get the travel lock. It also gives you the ability to turn the 4000K LED spotlight on and off when needed for a more precise shape. You can now shave your balls in the dark. Definitely would recommend. The Lawnmower 4.0 even allows you to customize your trim through additional guard lengths with sizes 1 to 4. The new wireless charging system uses electromagnetic induction, which can help battery length last longer. Yeah, you heard that right. Wireless charging ball trimmers are a real thing now. Have you ever seen a nose bush sticking out of your dad's nose? Well, the Weed Whacker nose and ear hair trimmer is the best nose hair trimmer on the market and the perfect gift for your pops. Oh my God, my words. They also have other amazing products like cologne, crop mop, ball wipes, crop reviver, ball toner, and crop preserver ball deodorant. You'll also appreciate that Manscaped products are cruelty-free, paraben-free, dye-free, and vegan. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code SHOWBOUND at manscaped.com. Get your dad a gift you know they will use. That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. Just use code SHOWBOUND. This year, show your original home some love with Manscaped. Oh, okay, that's all time my worst ad read ever. I mean, listeners, you won't know. Like I'll leave in a few of the screw ups, but I'll edit out most of them. I restarted like 3 times though. Sorry, Cards.
Yeah, it was a tough one for sure. But with that being said, let's just gas it and let's get to the interview. Here we go. All right, we're pleased to be joined by Jonesy here on the pod this week. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me, boys.
Yeah, super excited to have you on. So just like kind of what's going on. Obviously, you guys didn't make the playoff this year. So what are you up to these days?
Nothing, man. Just, after the season went to, well, I guess not nothing. I went to Hawaii and then went to Maui there with a couple of guys on the team. Came back home for like a week and then went back out west to Colorado for a wedding. So my cousin's wedding. So I just got back from there and then just got back in the gym yesterday. So it's been pretty busy.
Yeah, nice little break and then get back in the swing of things.
You ride some waves over there in Hawaii? You a surfer?
No, I've been, since I got drafted at Anaheim, man, I've been out there so many times, like just around a lot of surfers and stuff, and I had so many opportunities to, but I never have, and I want to like really bad. I heard it's like really hard though, and it could be dangerous, so like gotta be careful with that.
Have you ever surfed behind a boat?
Yeah, wake surfing. Yeah, I like that. I do like that.
So you might be able to pull it off then. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe I could try.
Those Hawaii waves are monsters though. It's like a whole nother thing over there.
Yeah,
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Anyway, we should probably talk a little bit about hockey. So I just want to mention you're from Michigan and you played your minor hockey in Detroit, bounced around a few of those Detroit teams. I'm just curious from like a young age, were you always one of the better players? Like you kind of knew you maybe had a shot at making the NHL?
I don't know. I mean, I always played up a year. So I always played with the 97 age group. And I don't know. I kind of feel like it was never like not in my mindset to like not, play in the NHL. I always thought when I was younger, I always wanted to and always wanted to. And like each year I just, it just kind of felt like it was who I wanted to be. So I just kept grinding to try to be that person. I mean, other than that, I mean, I don't really think I ever felt like I was really better than anyone else. I mean, I just worked hard, and each and every day I mean, I had my dad behind the bench for a couple of years too. So he really, was on my ass a bit, but that helped a lot. But other than that, no, like I never really thought I was, better than most of the guys or anything. I just felt like, I don't know, I just kind of had that mindset where this is what I wanted to do.
Okay, let me ask you, because I know like it's hard to kind of talk about yourself and say that you're better than all that and whatever. So someone watching you in minor hockey, would they say that you're better than the other people?
Yeah, I mean, it was, it was like that, I guess. I mean, my 18 year, my draft year, like the year I got drafted to London and the year I signed and went to USA, I was playing on the U18 Honey Baked team. And it always felt like there was just, like I had 264 penalty minutes that year. And I don't even know how many games, but I got in fights and 10-minute misconducts all the time. And then I come up to Canada, play those teams. And it was like, it just felt like a lot of the scouts were there to watch. We had actually two other guys though, too. We had Ben Gleason and then a goalie who was also up for the draft that year. So they're there to watch like them two also and me. And then like, dude, every game I would get like fights, like nonstop, 2s, 10s, like just marking up the sheet. Like it was crazy. But I mean, other than that, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I guess you could say that.
That's actually insane, man. 260 in a minor hockey, like, well, U18, I guess, like sort of minor hockey, but that's insane. So guys at Goon and puts up points. What more can you ask for, Rask?
Legit.
But no, then we want to talk about NTTP a little bit. So you played there for your first year at junior after coming out of that U18 program. And we've heard a lot of stuff like mixed ways about how the NTDP went for a few of our guests, but what was your experience like?
It's tough, man. It's like you got to really know what you're getting into when you go there. It's like, it's not easy, man. Like you're going to school like a normal kid, then you're going to the rink, you're getting home at 5:36. You got to help make dinner or eat dinner, fix clean dinner or whatever up afterwards, and then it's like you're kind of tucked away in your room doing homework for a lot of the time. And then you're doing it all over, again, the next day through the week. And then on weekends you play. So it's a very taxing schedule. So, I mean, I don't know. It just depends if who you got around you while you're there and how you can handle it. It's very hard and frustrating. So I struggled with it. But I mean, I grinded it out, got through it. And I did enjoy a lot of the guys on the team. And that's what makes it the whole thing.
Yeah, it's obviously a pretty special bond. Like you're playing with the same guys, like, well, most cases 2 years, obviously not for you, but, and that was the same thing with a few of my SAG teammates. Like they just said like, there was like military training and stuff. And like guys were just like being pushed to the brink every day. So like, they just had to back out and like go to the O.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's a very hard, I mean, we had a cross training coach, if you would say. He was kind of like, we would train with him. He was like a boxing guy, and he would like kind of train us like we were in the military. Like we would do, if one thing was wrong, like your hands were in your pockets or something, be like, drop down, give me, and he would do this thing where it'd be like 3 or 4 push-ups, which isn't a lot, but he does it every like 3-4 minutes, like throughout the whole hour and a half, whatever, how long you're doing it. And it's like, oh, you're putting your hands on your hips, like you're tired. All right, drop down, give me 2. Or, your hands in your pockets, drop down, give me another 2. And then it's like constant thing. If someone's like breathing too heavy or their hands are on their knees, like he's just picking stuff off, and you never want to be that guy. And it would be like sometimes if someone had their hands in their pocket, he would like make everyone carry them on their shoulders, like around the building and stuff like that. Like it was crazy, man. And it was, that was just the cross training guy though. But I mean, our normal like weight training was normal, but like that was the cross training. It was like military, man.
That's so intense. Did anybody ever give it back to the guy and just be like, no, fuck that, like I'm not doing this?
So when I got called up to the 18s, because I was on the 17s, I got called up to the 18s, and Matthews was there, a couple other guys, Bracco, Fitzgerald, Troy Terry was there actually. And when I got there, it was just a huge joke. Like they just like, they were laughing, like shooting the shit, doing whatever they wanted. And I was just standing there like in line, like, cause we would do these things, we'd call it like one's like a jab and two would be like a hook, and everyone's kind of doing it. And like guys were just, goofing off, like A-Mats is like up there, like behind Kirk's back, like dancing and stuff. I was just like, what is going on? It's like, cause we're so terrified as the 17s, doing all this. But those guys.
Tough to tell Matthews what to do.
Oh yeah. I mean, since day one, right?
Yeah, you go up there, you call up, and you guys are obviously scared of 17s. You don't know what to expect, and these 18s are just running the guy's show. That's actually hilarious. But were you? I'm not sure. Were you committed? And like, when did you know you were like, okay, the program's not for me? Obviously, I'm going to a good team in London. With like, we're going to talk about their roster in a little bit that you came to and stuff. So when did you kind of know London was the route?
I mean, it was kind of always in the back of my mind, like just knowing like they drafted me, and it was the one place I really wanted to get drafted to, because if I was going to make that decision to go play in the O, it was London. So once that happened, I was kind of like, I'm going to watch a bit more. I'm going to watch a lot of these games. My brother played in the OHL too, so I was at a lot of those games in Plymouth because my brother played for Plymouth. So I watched like a lot of OHL hockey. And then just playing that year in the USHL and just kind of the way it was and the way I felt like my game was, I just felt like I needed the OHL kind of style a little bit more. And then towards the end of that year, I just knew that's what I wanted to do. It was this decision that I wanted to make. So it was a tough one to make because, I mean, obviously USA is a 2-year contract and you got to get, bought out of it. And it kind of burns some bridges, which, I'm kind of rekindling with USA Hockey, and I think we've done a really good job at maintaining it. A lot of those guys are really close to me now, and I played in the World Juniors with a lot of those guys, so we're all like good. And then so I think after that it was just it was history. Just signed in London, and that was it.
Mm-hmm. And you kind of mentioned they're burning bridges with USA, and they kind of like maybe hold grudges against some players. And Rask, like, I don't know if you knew this, but like Bodes, when he came to Saginaw, like it obviously wasn't great for like with him in the program. Like they didn't like the fact that he gassed school, even though he finished his 2 years. And then obviously I think that's why he kind of didn't make the World Jays, and he would kind of talk about that and stuff. But like you said, I mean, you got lucky enough to still play World Juniors and keep a good relationship with them for maybe, who knows, World Championships or Olympics down the road and stuff like that. But Rask, I'll let you get into some Londo stuff here, eh?
Yeah, I mean, we posted up for fan questions for you, and like everyone's like, oh, London, London, London. So I mean, some people might forget you're playing in the NHL now, which is a lot cooler than London in my opinion. But we'll talk about London for a bit. You go in, you step into your first year, 52 points in 63 games. Like, you fit right in, you did well. So how was the adjustment kind of stepping in for your first year in the O?
I don't know. I mean, it felt pretty easy. I mean, obviously it took me like 12, 13 games or something, maybe even 14 to score my first goal. Like, it was tough. I was grinding. And then once that happened, things started to open up, floodgates open, and it was a lot easier to just focus and play hockey. It's always tough to get that first one. Every league I've been in, it's been like that. It's been so hard to get the first one, but I think just my game, the way I play, it just really felt a lot easier to play in the OHL. The atmosphere in London too. It's so much. It's just so great to be a part of that, be a part of a team like London. So it was pretty easy kind of to rotate over.
I mean, I heard from a lot of my friends who've played against you and stuff that everyone just hates you. Like, how do you feel about that? You probably enjoy that kind of thing.
I mean, if it's on the ice, yeah. I mean, I like to try to hold myself to a standard that I'm like a pretty nice guy, good guy off the ice. I like, if people are nice to me, I'm nice to them. I think I've always been raised that, treat people the way you want to be treated. But, when you're playing hockey, it's kind of your job. And sometimes, we're all hockey players, man. Like, it's a very high emotion game, and everyone cares so much. I mean, that's why everyone plays it. That's why we play at such a high level, like you guys included. Like, it's what we do, man. So you just get some grudges out there and you go at it. And I think it happened a lot in the OHL. had to tone it down just a little bit and kind of hone it, just kind of the penalty minutes and stuff, but it's kind of still playing the edge there. But yeah, the OHL, yeah, a lot of guys didn't like me.
Well, Rask, man, Jonesy had 260 PIMs in minor hockey. Like, how many people could like you when you're just running them and fighting them every shift? Like, this guy, he's an animal.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the guy you want on your team, man. But I mean, speaking about like that London team and all that, so you guys won the OHL championship that year, the Mem Cup as well. And I just want to highlight some of the players you played on that team with, like Mitch Marner, Matthew Tkachuk, Victor Mete, Christian Dvorak, and Rob Thomas, who our listeners know. We had him on earlier. So you know, sick team. You guys go win it all. And can you just talk about that playoff run? I mean, after the first round, you guys didn't lose a game like for the whole thing, right?
No, yeah. So that team was, when we were just so good. I mean, like the Marner, Dvorak, Kachuk, that was our first line. They were fantastic, right? But I mean, a big part of that team was our third line, like our shutdown line of Owen McDonald, Pikanich, and Yakimovic. They were like, during that playoff run in the O, like they were probably just as important, if not more important, than Marner's line, like that line. It was crazy, man. These guys were shutting down, you know, Strome and DeBrincat, and it was ridiculous. Like Radish, he was on that Erie team, like, and then they were in the Kitchener series. Yeah, he scored a huge OT goal. I'm pretty sure they had like, I don't know, 3-4, something like that, game winners in playoffs, like that line. And they get not a lot of credit for that, but I just know, like, when we always talk, like, you know, all the London guys, like on that team, we always talk about just them because they were such a big part. And then, I mean, obviously, every time we had a power play, it was, you know, I don't know what our power play percentage was. It could have been like 90%. It was ridiculous, man. They scored all the time. So, but the OHL I only played, I think, the 3, maybe 4. So yeah, the 3 games I played, and then the 4th one I got kicked out because I got suspended for a hit, and I got suspended for 12 games. So I missed the whole OHL playoffs. I came back actually with we kept sweeping series. So I got suspended in the first round, and then we swept the second round and swept the third round. And I was just like, man, like, I'm glad we're winning, but like, can we maybe lose 1 or 2 so I can get back in here? Like, I want to get back in and start playing again. So I got back in game 3 in the finals against Niagara. And that whole run was crazy, man. Like it was like a joke. It felt like a joke. We just always knew, like, we had this swagger and confidence that we were going to win. Like, we had this thing in the room where we were just like, oh, like, just another game, we're going to win. Like, everyone just starts like knocking on wood. Like, the whole room starts knocking on wood. And it's just like, it was just a running joke, and we never lost the game from then on.
Yeah, that was completely
nuts,
insane. Like, I saw that run pretty closely. Like, Cards, Marty was the coach in Niagara at that point. Like, one of our buddies was the coach there, and I was living in Niagara, so I saw game 3 and 4 in Niagara, and I remember, I think Owen McDonald had a big OT winner at some point there. It was just like, it was nuts, man. And so I'm curious because, like you said, you had and you weren't even playing for a bit of it, but you have, when you sweep the series, you know, you get some days off and a little bit between rounds to let the other teams catch up. So what's that playoff run like off the ice for you guys? Are you just tearing it up, like, basically after every series?
Yeah, it was great, man. Like the energy and like the vibes in the room were like, it was unreal. I mean, I was in the room, but I was also every day like bag skating, just because I had to get back in the lineup once I came back, because, you know, that was just what it felt like. I was like, all right, 12 games, yeah, that sucks, but like, I'm probably going to get back the way this is going. So I was around the team a lot. And then like, it was just like, our team was so close. So we had so much fun, especially through the whole playoffs and Mem Cup too. Like, we had a couple of days off because we swept the round robin. So we go straight to the finals. So we went to Banff, Alberta, like the mountains and stuff. And then we went to Keg, and we had like, just got crushed, man. Like, we were just all the boys together, like about to play the final game of the season, Mem Cup, and just got crushed at the Keg. And it was, we had a ball, and it really just sealed the deal on the year. I was like, all right, like, we're going to go win this game. Like, it doesn't matter what the circumstance is. We're going to go win this game. Like, that whole playoff runs was just crazy.
Where was it that year, the memory?
Red Deer.
Oh, right. Okay.
Dude, that's nasty though. Like, because you just play on a team there and obviously you sweep the whole OHL. Like, it's over. Like, you're going to the member. You could do whatever you want. You guys could play wrong-handed and still win at that point with that squad you had and stuff. It's just a debacle for the other teams. You're going into the rink. You're like, okay, like it's done. But after that year, so you win the Memorial Cup, you win the OHL in your first year. So you can't top your OHL career much more than that, but you go into, that's your NHL draft year at the same time this is all going on. So I'm sure maybe when you get that 12-game suspension, that's probably running through your mind. You're like, is this going to hurt my draft status at all? And what was that like for you?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy, man. Like I had dealt with a lot, like at the combine, just with the whole 12-game suspension thing, and then also leaving USA Hockey. Those were like the two big things. I had met with every single team that had, other than like the 3 teams that like didn't have a pick in the first round. And I met with every single one of them, and every single one of them asked me those 2 questions. Like, it was those 2. It was about, USA Hockey, and then it was about the 12-game suspension. And so I had to literally just say the same answers over and over and over again and keep repeating myself just about like, what happened, what I was thinking, who I am pretty much. And yeah, it was tough because like, a lot of people thought that I was like not a good person or something like that because of the way I play or off the ice. I leave USA. It seems like I have like this kind of weird, bad personality. And I kind of was almost, defending myself a lot. But, that's just kind of the way it is sometimes, like in this line of work, like you get this image of a hockey player and sometimes people kind of put a label on who you are as a person. So I had to kind of grind through the whole combine like that. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, you know what? I'll vouch for Jonesy. He's nice enough to come on the podcast. So great guy for us.
Thanks, boys. Thanks.
Yeah, class act. But the draft ends up going well for you anyway. First round, 24th overall to the Ducks. And so just tell us about the draft. How'd it go? Where was it? And just that day for you.
Yeah, it was in Buffalo. I spent a lot of time in Buffalo through those 3 years. I played in All-American prospects game there, played in or I went to the combine there, draft was there, and then I had to play in World Juniors there. So I spent a lot of time in Buffalo, but draft was great. I mean, it was very nerve-wracking, man. Like, had a lot of like crazy things happen. I mean, you see the cameras come up to each seat, and it's like that's when when you're getting taken because the cameraman's the first one who knows other than the team. So the cameraman's always comes up, and it was like, came up at like 10th overall, and it was Colorado picking, and it was Joe sitting right in front of me. And we were sitting there, and I didn't know if it was going to be me or not. So I had this huge like adrenaline rush, like I had no idea what was going to happen. And it wasn't me, and then before the draft, actually, I had talked to Winnipeg, and they were literally like minutes before the draft was starting. They pulled me out of my seat, started talking to me, and said, so-and-so this, like, blah, 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 this. And I'm just sitting there like, all right, yeah. And then like, all right, well, you promise us you're a good human being, good person. Like, if we trade up to try to get you, like, you promise me, like, you're a good man. And I'm like, yeah. So then later on in the draft after 10, Winnipeg traded up, saw them trade up. And then I was like sitting there like, oh my God, like, is this actually going to happen? Like, is he really just speak this into existence? So I was sitting there like shaking. I'm like, oh my God, is it happening now? And then didn't happen then. I think
Who'd they pick there?
I think they took Stanley. Yeah, they took Logan Stanley. And then, yeah, just sat there waiting and got taken by Anaheim.
Yeah, well, I mean, Anaheim got a good person. We'll keep referencing that throughout.
Yeah, thanks. Just keep rolling it.
But no, did you have a feeling it could have been Anaheim, or it kind of seems like you had no idea, really?
No clue, man. Like, it was, my agent had told me like anywhere from like 10 to like 15. And then once it just kept going and going and going. And I was just like, oh man, like, I don't know where I'm going now. Like, I have no idea. So I was just waiting, like each pick, like I was just like beads of sweat, man, dropping. I'm like, I don't know where I'm going. Like, it's nice to have a little insight, but I had no clue after that.
Did the thoughts kind of creep in, like I might slip out of the first?
Yeah, a little bit. It was really concerning, man. Like, I was sitting there like, I don't know what's happening. Like, figured maybe it was just a lot of it was the whole 12 game and leaving USA. And then, I was fortunate enough to have Anaheim to trusted me.
Yeah, no, it's interesting hearing about this because we have a lot of guys that'll say like, the draft day is the best day of their life, but I find most of them say they just don't even enjoy it because you're too nervous. Like I know we had Ryan Strome on last week and he said like he doesn't even know what happened on his draft day. He's happy he had like the younger brothers to do it so he could enjoy it. It's fascinating for me. But I want to kind of just before we get into where you're at now, like I just want to touch on the rest of your OHL career. And even before you finished in the OHL, you managed to get up with the San Diego Gulls in the AHL for a playoff run. So like, what was that kind of first taste of pro hockey like for you?
It was pretty cool. It was pretty surreal. We had like down in San Diego, there's a guy like Nate Ginnon. He was playing D. Jeff Schultz was playing D. These guys are playing the NHL and they're, down in the minors now. And I used to watch them when I was a kid. So it was pretty surreal for me to go and play with them. And we played against Ontario in the first round. And TJ Hensick was on that team. He used to play for Colorado, and I was a big fan of Colorado growing up. So it's pretty surreal getting to play like against those guys and with them. And it was fast, man, like fast paced. Like you can tell right away there's a big difference. I mean, you're just a young rookie again, all over again. You go through the OHL and you earn your status of a veteran, and then you redo it. You restart it from square one. So it was pretty interesting. That year, that playoff run. And after that, when we lost to San Jose in the second round. And we ended up getting a couple of us, me, Mahura, Steele, went up to Anaheim, just a black ace for their playoff run. And they went to the conference finals in Nashville. So we were just kind of flying on the plane in the back, like just, getting to go to all these cities, like shoot shit, whatnot. Like so that was pretty sick. Like that whole time period from flying out to California.
Yeah. As a black ace, are you guys able, or did you like kind of go out? Are you guys like getting hammered on the road and stuff, or are you just dialed in, like, because you got a bag every morning and all that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it's more, I think black ace is usually, I mean, it's not really after games. Yeah, there's a little bit more leeway. I mean, just for anyone. But I mean, night before that's no one does, but I'm not sure as like the black aces. Like, I don't really think so. I guess each guy's different. I have no idea.
Okay, fair enough.
Rask, you got to remember, he's a young kid trying to make the team. He's not going to go out and he's a great guy too. Axel approved guy. So he's not going to ruin his reputation. Right. So
yeah,
I'm just curious. No, because like, you're not playing type of thing. And it's like, you get to,
when I was that year. Yeah. Like I was black ace. I knew I wasn't playing. I actually almost did though. It would have been crazy. They told me I might play. And then they ended up putting in Cardilas, which I was like thankful for. I was pretty nervous. I was like, I'm not prepared for this at all. So, but I was still young. I was only 19 at the time. So there was, can't enjoy a beer or anything. So I was just going out for food and some dinners with the other guys.
Yeah. It's not like back in London where you can drink at that age. And yeah, I just want to finish up like in your OHL career that next year, you ended up getting traded to Kingston to go on a run there in your last OHL season. Like, I'm just curious, how did the trade go down? Did they say like, do you want to finish up in London or do you want to kind of go for a run? Did they ask you?
Yes. I mean, I had a no trade clause, which I mean, a lot of guys do. And I think most all American players do, but, I kind of was at World Juniors when this was going on, and I had kind of insight of it from my agent. And then I heard there was a deal done with a couple of teams that wanted me, or I knew that this was a talks at the start of the year because our team had a tough start, which we shouldn't have because we had a really good team, but we started terrible. And then I just knew that there was some, words going around about me getting traded to certain teams, and then World Juniors happened, and just kind of had a call with my agent afterwards and heard about Kingston. So I was like, yeah, like I mean, I don't really want to leave London. I'd rather just, finish the last whatever games there are. I mean, I won a Memorial Cup here. I don't really, won't care to win another one. I mean, I just kind of want to finish a career in London and then turn pro. And then I had talked to Bob, our GM of Anaheim, and he talked to me about it and talked to me about, going and making another run for it would be really good as a player. to keep the competitive spirit and keep that, drive and kind of more like experience in the playoffs and big games. So it kind of changed my whole idea around. I was like, yeah, you know what? Like, you're right. I think that would be actually really good. So then I just accepted the trade, went to Kingston. I broke my finger like 4 games in. So I was out until the second round of playoffs. And then we were down 2-0 too. So I came in, we were down 2-0 against Barrie. And then we ended up coming back and just winning 4 straight on them. And then we lost to Hamilton in the finals. So.
And then after Kingston, or not after Kingston, you just referenced, while the Kingston deal was going down, you're at World Jays, and potentially you guys wore the nastiest uniforms ever in USA hockey at that tournament. And that was at the outdoor game, that crazy outdoor game actually between Canada, USA. You had the Bills jerseys going. So what was that game like for you? Just in like that one as itself?
Yeah, it was crazy, man. It's one to remember. I mean, it's the energy, the atmosphere and everything. You're walking out from the tunnel, wearing these, Bills Mafia jerseys. They're sick, and it was crazy. Like, that whole game though was kind of nuts. Like, it felt just like almost too much because of all the snow. Like we were just shoveling this puck around the ice, and the bench was like super hot, and then you go out on the ice and it's like really cold. Like, I was getting nauseous, breathing in cold air, going back hot air. Like, I was getting nauseous. The snow was like melting on my stick, so I couldn't have any like grip on my stick. I'm trying to like, shoot, and I can't. Like, my hand's slipping, so I'm just sending muffins in on harder heart. Like, I can't even shoot. So realistically, that was how the game went. But when I tell people about it, I'm like, man, it's unreal. It was crazy. It was so much fun. But like, as a hockey match, it was really tough to play a hockey match out there.
Well, yeah. I mean, who cares really about the hockey? You get a sick Insta photo, you get the jersey and everything. So like, honestly,
yeah,
it's
why not?
Yeah.
Take the clout, right? Take the clout.
Exactly. So other than that game, like, you had a good team there, obviously a lot of talent on that team. And as you said, you're fortunate enough to get called back to World Juniors after leaving USA hockey, but you win bronze that year. And what was that like for you? What was the bronze medal game and just the tournament as a whole?
Yeah, it was a good tournament. I mean, it's tough to go to those tournaments. Like, it's, you're throwing a bunch of guys together who really haven't played much together other than, guys who played at NTDP. So it's really tough to find line combinations in a short time for a big tournament, So I think that's kind of what we struggled with, was just finding our chemistry and finding our lines. And I mean, we had a good team. We just couldn't find it and put it together well. But I mean, like I said, we had a really good team. It was really fun. And that bronze medal game was a good one. We played Sweden, I think, if I remember correctly. And that's who we lost to. That game was a really kind of devastating game because, everyone wants to win gold. So that one sucked, but it happens. And then I think we played, who did we play in the bronze game?
Finland?
Yeah. That might be Finland.
I have no idea. I'm just throwing names out there.
It might have been Finland, I think. I don't remember. That's actually bad, but I don't remember.
No, man. Hey, that might have been the year. Was that the year the guy chucked the gold medal over the glass?
Yeah.
That year? The silver.
Silver, yeah. He chucked this. Yeah, that was Elias Anderson.
That was hilarious.
He plays in LA now.
Yeah, you could heckle him about that a bit. Close rivalry matches there. But was there anything, like any moment or any kind of funny thing that happened in that tournament that kind of stuck out for you? I mean, maybe not if you can't even remember who you're playing in the bronze medal game.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we had a lot of good guys on that team. I was close with Logan Brown, Yamamoto, and Middlestat. So we were all playing cards together like every day. This game called Durock. It's like a Russian game or something. I don't know. They taught me when I was there, and then we played it like every day. And we would get in like fights in these hotel rooms over this game. So that's like all I remember almost from the whole tournament was just us like getting in fights over this card game.
That's funny.
That's funny.
Yeah, I mean, and then you head into your first full year pro. You're up and down with Anaheim and San Diego. So, like, at Anaheim Ducks camp there, what's going through your head? Like, you might make the team, you might not. What are you kind of being told, and how did that kind of go for you?
So my first year, I leading into my first pro year, I got hurt at development camp in the middle of summer, broke my hand. So I was out like the rest of the summer, just straight legs, and it was like kind of devastating, like, damn, I'm going to my first pro year, try to make the team on a camp, and I get hurt. So I was like, this sucks, but it's like whatever. I gotta just keep grinding and try to get back and back healthy, and then just work my way back. So a lot of guys got to play right at the start because of injuries. So I missed out on that opportunity for opening night and everything. So then I got healed up, played 30 games down in San Diego. And then got called up for the rest of the year, or I played 40, I think. I played like half the year and then got called up to Anaheim for the rest of the year. And then after that, we got sent down, me and like Terry Steele and guys like that. We got sent back down to go play playoffs in San Diego. So that was a good year, good first year. Like I had to grind through that injury. So
yeah. How did it go down when you found out you're getting to play you get the call up and then you're told you get to play in a game? Like, take us through all of that.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. I remember just getting the call. I was sitting on my couch. Me and Mahura and Steele lived in Pacific Beach, just in this little shack pretty much. It was hilarious. But I got the call just from the general manager of the team in San Diego. And I was like shaking, man. I was like, oh my God, like they're calling me up. Like that means, most likely I'm going to play. They're not just going to call me up to sit me, So called my dad right away, called my mom. Like it was really surreal. And then I realized I had to just pack everything and get going because the next morning I was leaving and flew to Minnesota, was for my game. It was the first game. So I got in the night before, had a dinner right there at the hotel, right in the St. Paul hotel. And then, that first game was crazy, going out for the rookie lap and, just hopping over for my first shift, like just felt so surreal, man. I remember it. Like I'll never forget it.
The boys let you go no bucky in warm-ups, or?
No, usually they steal your bucket. Like we stole a couple of guys this year and last year, but they didn't take mine. I just kind of went out and, just went about my business.
That's funny. So
I wish they would have though.
Yeah, honestly, that's more clout picks, like we were talking
100%,
about.
man. It's good style.
Oh, yeah. You put that first show game with the Bills Moff. It's like you can't beat that combo of pictures right there.
100%, man. It's unheard of.
Yeah, no, elite Insta game with that. But I mean, well, quickly just about Mahura and Steele. I mean, those guys, they played junior together, right? Like I'm pretty they must have been boys.
Yeah, they're in Regina together.
So what was living with those guys? I mean, Steele is like a known, like great looking dude. How's he like? He's probably going out, having a good time.
Yeah, he's had a girlfriend, man, for like 6 years. So
no, Raskin's just trying to get his number, and then he's gonna text him later. Got a flex on him.
Yeah, I can get it to you, Rask, if you want him.
I got his number. Have him on the pod, bro.
Yeah, he's him and Muzz is hilarious. He's single, so he's just crazy, man. This guy is so funny. Like he's ridiculous.
We gotta get him then.
Yeah, Muzz. He would love. Yeah, he's hilarious, man. So I live with both those guys. I actually live with them this past season too, because there's uncertainty of the season, so we all just grabbed a place together right by our practice facility. But it was good, man. Like we had a lot of fun. San Diego, we weren't old enough to go out and drink yet. So I'm glad that halfway through the year, I turned 21, and then Steeler turned 21 in January, I think, or start of February. So it was kind of both of us in a month. And then, after that, it was a lot of good times, with the team and shit like that. So those guys are real good guys to be around. They were fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And just quickly, like talking about Anaheim again, you mentioned you get the call up and all that. How long did it take you to get your first NHL goal, and which goalie did you score it on?
Oh man, it took me so long. I think it took me 15 games, maybe. I think it took me 15 games. I was just so pissed, man. Like just grinding. It sucked. But it took me 15 games, I think. And then I scored on Carey Price.
No way.
Ew.
How did it go
Yeah.
down? Like, what was the goal like?
It was pretty nice. Like I kind of went end to end. So I just got the puck out of the D zone. It was the 8th goal of the game though. That was the thing. It was like, but it was whatever. I'll take it, man. Like soak that one for sure, especially on Price. I won't have to tell people how many goals were scored in the game. Just tell them they scored on him. But got a puck in the D zone, and then just there was a minute left in the game, and I just skated literally through kind of like up the wall and like held the guy off, and then got into the middle of the ice. I towed it in and then pushed it back out and just took like a half clapper and just beat him on his blocker side. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it's a good thing you didn't catch him in the form he's in right now, because maybe it would have been a
Oh,
stop.
no,
The way he's playing right now.
That would have been a routine save.
Now he's just going sicko mode, but your shot's too hard. Like it's just unbeatable there when you blow it by him. So thanks for that one, Carey. Have a day, bud. But just kind of more stuff with Anaheim. Like you become an established NHL player this year, and you like really solidify yourself in the lineup every night and like find your role on that team. And what was that like for you? Just like knowing you're here to stay, you're doing these things, like that's your role.
Yeah, it's good, man. It's a good feeling. I know that end of last year, I had really good exit meetings, and I knew that this season was going to be, I was going to be kind of just a regular in the lineup. So I kind of took my mentality a lot better, just with confidence on the ice and just knowing that each and every night where I'm going to be playing and where I'm going to be staying. So it makes life a lot easier on a guy like that when you're kind of up and down and you don't know what's going on, and then they finally tell you like you're here and this is what you're going to do. So the year was really good. I mean, obviously our team, struggled a lot. I mean, very heavily, and it's all season long we were grinding as a team. So we got a lot to fix and stuff. But personally, it just kind of felt like a good year. Felt good. I felt like I took a step to, know what I got to be and know what I got to play like.
Yeah, exactly. And talking about that year, it was a bit of a struggle for the team and everything, but it was a struggle for like the whole world with COVID and everything going on. So what was a COVID year like for you? I know we talked to Stromer a little bit, and he said it was kind of life as normal once it was like double vaccine and everything. But like in your point of view, what was going on in Anaheim in that sense?
Yeah, man, it was just boring, really. Like it was real boring. We just sat in our houses all day, and then on the road we sat in the hotel and was trying to find, time to do something or go for a walk. I mean, we were fortunate enough to have like a basketball hoop and a pool and stuff in our neighborhood, so we could go to and be able to do stuff. But on the road, it was just a lot of team bonding. Like we had our own player lounges, so we got to play video games down there with everyone, ping pong, play cards, whatever, a couple glasses of wine after a game, like stuff like that. But other than that, it was boring. It was tough. And, I think people with families too, like their kids and stuff had to, couldn't do as much, or, wives, girlfriends, not allowed to go out as much, like certain stuff like that. It was tough. But for me, I think it's pretty easy. I have to live with Muzz and Steelers. So.
Yeah. I mean, when you're living with your boys, it makes it a lot better, but like say in a regular year, so maybe your first 2 years or like the start of your second year and your first year and stuff like that. What's it like living in Anaheim and like San Diego, just as a whole? Like how often you going to the beach, like just shooting hoops, you're just hitting the pool? It must be nice to be able to know like it's January and you can just go down to the pool rather than being in Buffalo and being in 6 feet of snow. Like,
yeah, like, I mean, like I said, man, I was pretty fortunate to have all that. Like it could have been a lot worse, like you said, Buffalo, out east, somewhere like that, a lot of snow, and you really can't leave your house, so it was nice. I mean, just being in Anaheim, it's so nice, man. It's like every day I'm walking to the rink in flip-flops and shorts. So it's each and every day. And then, I mean, this year I only had to see snow, I think one time in Colorado, Minnesota, maybe. And that was it. So I mean, it's super nice. It was a really nice year, but I can't even go to the snow now without getting a cold, man. It's bad.
Well, maybe it's a blessing in disguise that Winnipeg didn't trade up and take you that day, because it would have been a polar opposite.
Yeah, dude. Anaheim's changed you.
It's 100%.
You're at the end of your contract, your entry level contract now, right?
Yeah.
So what's that like for you this summer? I imagine kind of contract talks underway now.
Yeah, I don't. I've had a lot of meetings with my agent. Just kind of talking to him what we're gonna go with and what we're gonna, try to negotiate with, and then after that, it's kind of all on Anaheim to kind of reach out and start the talks. So where I don't think we're there yet. I think there's going to be a little bit longer because obviously we got the expansion draft this summer, so I think things are going to be a little bit more delayed. It's just what my agent's saying and stuff. So we're gonna. I don't know. I mean, I got some time now, but I'm just gonna go about my business as usual. Just train like I normally do, and just go about my business as usual. Like I said.
Yeah, I guess if you're not signed, they don't have to protect you, so it's kind of better they sign you after the expansion draft, I think. Right?
No, they still got to protect me because I'm a UFA and I played.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I played like 140 games or something. So I think I'm like over that limit. So they still got to protect me.
Okay, fair enough. Well, what kind of things do you like to kind of ball out with your money? Do you like to invest? Like, what are you kind of like with your money?
My start, like when I first signed and everything, when I was back in Neo, I got myself a car because I never had one. So I got myself a nice like Jeep Rubicon, like lifted and everything. So that I like to, I was spending money a little bit, a lot more than saving it when I signed when I was back in juniors. Buying like, Louis bags and shoes and stuff. That was my first, signing. That's what I did. Kind of treated myself, I guess. And then, but yeah, now I got a financial guy and I invest money, but I mean, I still take care of, myself and try to treat myself.
Okay. Well, so yeah, you mentioned having a finance guy, but I'll tell you the best finance people are our partners at Gavin Hockey Well Specialist, and they believe that your goals matter. After hundreds of early morning practices and countless hours on the ice or in the gym, you truly earned your success and you deserve to enjoy it. For over 20 years, the team at Gavin has assisted professional hockey players with setting goals and, more importantly, providing them with a game plan to achieve them. Whether it's a house, a car, a cottage, or even supporting your family, it's all within reach when you partner with a pro. And you can check them out at gavingroup.ca.
Yeah, I mean, with that being said, we talk about it every week. Thanks to fans for sending in a bunch of questions again. It was a bit of short notice too, because Raskin was sleeping and didn't get the fan question posts out. But
That's such
the
a
fans
lie.
came strong with all the posts. So we're gonna go through what the fans want to hear from you, Jonesy. So first, as we always go with stick specs.
I use a Bauer now. I just switched over from CCM to Bauer this year, so I'm using a Bauer. Was it Supreme? I think it's the Supreme one. It's a new one. I don't know. 95 Flex. It's like a P90 type of blade.
Okay, yeah, that's the same as me. What's your favorite off-season activity?
Golfing, and then probably probably video games.
Okay.
Wait. What? That's my area, cards. You know what video games are you playing?
I played a lot of Warzone this year. I play everything, man. I'm like as gamer as it comes. Like I play, like Halo from NBA 2K to Call of Duty Warzone, from Fortnite to like anything, man. Like Assassin's Creed. Like I play everything. So, but I've been playing a lot of Warzone lately with all the guys.
Did you grind the new Fortnite season that came out today? Yeah.
No, man, that's the thing is I haven't played Fortnite in so long. Ever since they added in, they added in like tribal shotguns.
Yeah, the primal weapons.
Primal weapons, and then I think they had like bounties and stuff. Like I haven't played since then, like a long time, like before all that.
There's no coming back now, man.
Man, we used to play it so much too. We used to play it so much. Me, Fowler, Manson, like Gibson too. I mean, Gibby still plays, and so does Manson, Fowler. But we just don't play Fortnite anymore. It's hilarious.
And you actually, I'm gonna give a quick shout out to Dicer for hooking us up with Jonesy today. So shout out to Dicer because he said he played video games with you, so that reminded me. But no, Rask, like Fortnite's for nerds, so you're the only one doing that anymore. Next question is, what's Trevor Zegras like?
Oh, he's funny, man. He's an idiot. It's like he's so funny. Like he spent a lot of time with us, me, Muzz, and Steeler, like over at our house. He lived down the street, so like he'd come over all the time. Like after games and stuff, he'd come over. We'd eat and watch like whatever movie or something, play video games together. Like it was, yeah. We spent a lot of time, and I think me and him are pretty close. So he's like I said though, he's just he's a different breed.
Good way to describe it. All right.
Hey,
And,
Cards, we talked about this. Cardsy and I were answering fan questions months ago, and one of them was like, if you could punch any NHL player in the face, who would it be? Mine was Zegras, remember?
yeah. Actually, you wanted to punch him in the face because he lit Canada up at the World Juniors, and it was like legit the day after, and you were so butthurt about it. So Rask wants to sucker Zegras.
I can hook you up. I'll hook you
Yeah.
up.
Maybe we could set up a boxing match. It'll be better than Paul versus Mayweather, Raskin versus Zegras. So
Yeah, I
we'll
won't
see.
be hugging him at least. I'll take a
I would draw
swing.
some views.
Yeah. Funniest guy on the team.
Nick Delorier, 100%. He
Easily?
is easily the fun. Like, this guy is so funny that he'll just walk into the room and I'll start laughing. That's just at the point it's been for me. Like, I can't even, like, it's so hard to explain. Like, he's the funniest guy I've ever met.
I love that. I know what you mean by guys just walk in and you just start cracking up.
That's
just the
you,
way they are.
Cards. That was you and Barry.
Yeah, I was like that in Barry. I guess the boys would get a crack about the few things I'd say, but I mean, not going to give myself any credit for being too funny. Come on. Pre-game meal.
We go to it's always the same, but like at home, we go to this place called Barolo. It's been a place, I think Paul Correa and Solani were the first two who found this place over like 25 years or something like that, like whatever crazy it was. So that's where we go. A lot of the guys go, unless they do it on their own at home. We go there. It's like an Italian place, little hole in the wall. This guy's name is Giuseppe. He's a beauty. Just cooks up pasta, prosciutto bread, like and then you get the vodka sauce with the Alfredo and whatever you want. So that's our at home. And then on the road, I just go with because we have a buffet and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I just make my salad. I'll make a salad first, and then I go chicken, broccoli, pasta, and with a little bit of Alfredo and marinara.
So this guy knows how to eat, Rask. Big boy.
Oh, man, it must be nice, bro. NHL, sign me up.
Oh, man, the Never Hungry League.
Yeah.
I love
compared
that.
to the always, I mean.
Yeah. Big difference, man. You're on private jets with food just in your face all the time. And then you go to the minors and you don't even get breakfast served anymore. So
that's hilarious. And we have one last funny question here. And so many people asked it. And it's a topic that flies around a lot with Lundo guys coming from the States. So the people say, how much were you being paid to play in Lundo?
I knew that was coming, but I got no comment on that one.
Lundo's not paying anyone. We're not throwing them under the bus or anything like that. But no, I think that pretty much does it for the fan questions. I know our sponsors at Axel Watches are going to be hooking you up with a watch of your choice. So after Zoom, I can send you the link. You can pick out your watch, let us know, and we'll get that one down to you so you can be looking good walking into the rink next year wearing that.
We'll get good guy engraved in the bottom or something like
that. Yeah. Right on the face of it. Good guy.
Just so that people know that he's a class act, which he is. And we're vouching for him now, Rask? 100%.
Absolutely. I'll be pumping your name, telling everyone how great you are. But we do think you're great for coming on the podcast. I know our listeners appreciate it. I appreciate it. I mean, just, enjoy the off season and best luck with your contract and all that. We'll be looking out for you as the season gets going. So thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys. I'll keep my tabs on you guys too. I'll be pumping you guys' tires as you're coming through. So just keep it up. All right, fellas.
For sure. Thanks, Jonesy.
All right. I want to thank Max Jones for that. Good guy. What do you think of that interview, Cards?
Yeah, the best guy ever. As we said, no, he was a really good guy. Super easy to work with. Came on the pod, like just down to earth guy, and really give him a lot of credit for coming on. I really appreciate it, as you do too. And hoping to get a few more Ducks on in the future, as he said he might be able to hook us up. So that would be awesome. But no, it was a good interview, a lot of good insight. Pretty cool to hear from a guy who played at the program and then came to Lundo, like, as we've seen a lot of guys, but we haven't heard an actual story about it. And he played on such a historic team, and now he's making his mark in the show. So it's pretty cool to see him move up the ranks. But with that being said, I want to kind of talk about something that happened in the PGA Tour this weekend. I don't know if you watched, but did you see the John Rahm incident?
No.
Okay, so I'll fill you in, and I'll fill the listeners who didn't watch it. So COVID's been very good. And
I did. Sorry, I do. I didn't see it, but I heard about it. But let's tell the listeners anyway.
Yeah, so in the PGA Tour, it's been very good. Like no traces of like COVID cases like spreading throughout the tour or whatever. And so John Rahm is shooting his career best. He just finished his career best round in strokes gained and taken. This guy's like second or third in the world, so he's a player. And he just set the 54-hole scoring record. So he has a 6-shot lead at Jack Nicklaus's course. Just so it's a huge tournament, and he has a 6-shot lead going into Sunday. Sure enough, he tests positive for COVID-19 on Saturday afternoon, and he's forced to withdraw from the tournament with a 6-shot lead. So that's just devastating news. I don't know what would you do? Like, obviously you have to withdraw, like it's inevitable and everything, but like that would just be devastating. No.
Well, yeah. One, it's as a competitor to have to withdraw when you're winning like that, but two, that's like $1 million payday you also lose.
1.6, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so that's just insane. But the weird thing was like that they did it on camera, like in front of everyone. I don't know why they did that publicly. It was so weird. I didn't watch it, but I saw the clip on Twitter.
Another thing about it was 2 guys came over to him without masks on, I don't think, and told him.
Yeah, they walked right up to him.
Yeah, and they start patting him on the back. I'm like, you don't like that doesn't make much sense. Like this guy has COVID. Put a mask on him, get him away from the fans. Like it's a bit absurd to me, but it seems like they haven't had any problems with COVID since then. So kudos to the tour. They're doing a great job on that, but thought I'd reference that. Tough one for Romer. Would have been nice to see him win that one as he was playing so good, but
who won?
Golf say Patrick Cantlay won in a playoff over Morikawa, and the field was filled with sick players, and just to see some high caliber golf. It was a fun tournament to watch. So we get the U.S. Open coming up in 2 weeks, so we'll keep our eye on that one too.
I'll be watching that. How did my boy Will Zalatoris do?
I don't know, honestly. I wasn't keeping a close eye. I just kind of followed the Rahm incident and then followed the top of the leaderboard. But okay. Yeah, he's always in the mix. But
we gotta get Will on the pod.
U.S. Open. Yeah, we'll get him on the pod easy.
Yeah, we should have got him before the Masters because this guy had like 1,500 followers on Instagram, like not verified, and then 2 weeks after, 150,000 verified. Like all that, just life-changing weekend for him. But we missed our window.
He's a marketing king, so we could have used him, but you know what? We're doing all right for ourselves. But I think that pretty much does it for me. I got nothing else to talk about. We've had a great interview, talked about a lot of great stuff this interview, and I'm super excited for the fans to hear this one, as they already have, I guess. But looking forward to it on Wednesday. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, we're rooting for the Habs. They're obviously going to win, so I'm just excited for my prediction to come true once again. We'll see how that plays out, and we'll see if we're cursed, or I'm cursed at least. I guess this will be if we find out in the next round. But do you want to take it away with the usual outro?
Yeah, no, I'll clean it up nice this week. Just really appreciate.
No weather reports this week. What the hell is that?
No weather. Well, I might need a little weather report. We got the patios opening and stuff opening in Ontario this week, Friday. So super exciting for everyone in Ontario. It's a big time. Vaccines are going well. We're on the up and up as a province as a whole. So I'm super excited. I know Rask is too. And we want everyone to stay safe, have fun, and enjoy their weekend. So have a great week, guys.